Nice.
All right, should we start this thing? You love to hear it. Episode 21, brought to you by Athlete Studio. We got Mike Green and Mike Dawsy in the Caribbean right now.
Thank you for having me. Stoked to be on again.
Double mics.
Always stoked to be here.
Last time I was with Nate, now I'm with Green.
Where are we?
We're at Copper Mountain, Colorado.
In whose Caribbean?
Colorado. We're in Copper's Caribbean, honestly. I'm staying here right now. We're doing some work. We're grinding.
Dawsy dialed us in. Nice little spot to do the pod. Verde is living 40 minutes down the road. We rode. Where did we ride today? Keystone?
We kind of went to
We
Keystone,
kind of rode.
yeah.
We had a bit of a day.
I've never been there.
You've never been to Keystone?
Never been to Keystone.
That's a lie.
Never been to Breckenridge either. I don't know if that's exactly true. I think I've actually been there one time, but I don't really remember.
I mean, I guess before you got fully in the game, the Detour left Breck and went to Copper.
And I've been to Copper a million times.
So, yeah, Breck kind of fell off a little bit.
And they were like the OGs with the big jumps.
Yeah, because Detour was there.
Yeah.
And they just built Freeway, and it was massive.
The OGs with the big jumps. I remember.
While we're talking about Colorado, we just dropped a little Instagram story to try to get some questions for this because we're just going into this absolutely nothing loaded, just a bunch of stoke. And somebody, a couple seconds ago, literally asked, when is the best time of year to use your 5 Colorado/Utah days with the Tahoe local Epic Pass?
Wait for the season. Deep snow.
Depends on what you want.
Deep snow. Yeah, it's pretty flat here in Copper, but
Mr. Colorado, when is it?
I mean, it depends on what you want. If you want a lot of terrain open and you want to get lucky, come out here like February and you'll have the whole mountain open for sure and you might get a storm. But if you want almost guaranteed perfect park days, like March, April are so good.
Really?
You can't beat the end of March and like the whole month of April. It's bluebird every day. It's 43 degrees. The jumps are perfect. Everything stays amazing. So it depends on what you want.
Is that why you can't leave here?
I'm gonna say is that why people come here? Yeah.
I left?
He's back.
Yeah,
I left.
Dawsy, where you been?
Been everywhere.
We've been hearing a lot. I've been keeping my ears closed because these two have been talking all about that. I'm just good stuff. I'm like, Royce, we got to press record on this.
We had a whole pod before the pod.
It's been really busy, dude. I've been staying super busy, which I'm grateful for. I was just in Europe for over a month, like a week and a little bit, or a month and a week. I did Switzerland, Austria, and did some Italy time. Went out there for the US team, do some stomping ground, Sauce-Fay stuff. Sauce-Fay is like, clearly you've been,
Nope.
No,
Not yet.
neither. You're Dubai though. You've been to Dubai.
Yeah. I've done a lot of Austria time.
You've been to Dubai? Yeah. So I went out there for Sauce. That place is incredible. It's like my favorite place in the world. You're just around like all of the best people, all of your homies in the most amazing place, like most beautiful mountains, and just all around, just one of my favorite places. So I was there for a little bit. Shooting US team stuff. Ended up directing a Kappa commercial out there as well.
Yeah, hold on. I saw a story of you on top of a bus.
Yeah.
Not like a bus to be on top of.
It's a taxi.
Just a bus. Was it built to be on top of, or were you just on top of it?
We were doing a follow cam, and our homie Marino, shout out Marino, dude is the best. He's like an OG, like born and raised Sauce-Fay local. There's not many of them. I mean, it's a pretty tiny mountain town in the middle of absolutely nowhere. And this kid grew up there, and his family like owns a hotel there and everything. And he has access to these taxis that are like really like rare, and they're not like they're like $100,000 for one of these little tiny things. They're like run on they're like electric, and like there's no cars allowed in the town. So like all the transportation is through those little like taxis. But our homie Marino has one, and we needed a follow cam on a path. So I had him running follow cams for us on hill because he's like one of the best follow filmers like in the game. So he actually for the commercial shot all the follow cam stuff.
Skier, snowboarder?
Skier.
Always
pro skier. Yeah, pro skier. But I ended up hiring him to do all that stuff. So then he ended up like helping us out like so much and just going above and beyond and just like randomly offering to like do that type of stuff and just like driving us to the sunrise shoots and just like being around, just like all around all-star. Helped out the production so much. Like Marino, you got to like hit his tag on this or something. I don't know it off the top of my head, but
Local legend.
yeah, dude, unbelievable dude. So we were doing that commercial, had this dude, Ben, again, we should put his tag up because he's like an absolute just unbelievable cinematographer, DP, had him out there as well. The first time I got to shoot with him, and he's actually right now in Hawaii shooting with like Koa Smith and a bunch of those big dogs.
He's looking for a filmer for the winter.
Yeah, well, he's with Ben right now, so he might have just scooped that job. I don't even know. But Ben is like holding it down in Hawaii for the month on like some crazy surf project. He's like so deep in the surf filming game, but got a bunch of stuff done, filmed or got this project for Kappa done. Really good time. And then had to go mob over to Solden, had Gianna out, my girlfriend, went over to Solden.
To Austria.
Sick. And then shot a World Cup with Michaela, did a Michaela episode. So moving right along. Season 2, episode 1 is coming out next week at some point. So we shot the rest of that.
Of Michaela's vlog.
Yep. And she came in 6th, so we didn't get the results that we were looking for. But she went off to Finland, and then I went home.
Better drop the episode.
I know, right?
That's what the vlog is.
I know.
The good, the bad, the
and
ugly.
We shot it all, and we made sure we shot it all. Like
that,
we went up. She was like, "If you want to come shoot, like me," because she came in 6th, which is like still great. Like that's life changing for like a lot of alpine skiers. Like coming in 6th is literally life changing.
To be competing at that elite level,
is insane. I mean, but it's like it's a failure for Michaela and her team. So there's a lot to like learn from it, and like a lot of steps, and like you have to take a lot of new steps in the right direction to like rebuttal yourself from coming in 6th. And again, crazy to even say, but it's like, yeah, it's a failure. But she came in 6th, and she was like, "You can come film me receiving my flowers on stage." And it's like the top 6 go on stage.
Oh, sick.
So like we filmed like her going up on stage to get her flowers, and like the whole like ceremony for the first place person, and like all that. So we're showing the ups and the downs and the all arounds for sure. So, but it was good. So I got to go out to Solden, shot the World Cup over there. And then, Gianna was out there, and we went down to Italy, did a little Italy time, and flew back, went back on the East Coast, right outside of where we grew up.
Yeah, the last time I saw you was in Tahoe?
Tahoe. Yeah, you were like 40 pounds heavier and long hair.
30 on the dot.
We like, dude,
30
that's inspiring, man. It's like since I've seen you like are like we were kind of doing the same thing at that point, like health wise. We were like kind of on the same diets. We're kind of eating the same thing. Like
we started the animal based 30.
Yeah. And then I had to leave to do work or whatever, or move to the East Coast, whatever, either or. I left, you went your own way. Like you got dialed, and I went and ate pizza.
75 hard.
I went 75 days straight eating pizza. in
75 soft, baby.
Dude, eating croissants. Like
croissant.
At least you're overseas where they're using
crazy.
the right ingredients.
They're not using fortified wheat.
But it's my biggest thing right now is like I need to really get back into eating right, because that was always such a big part of my life. And it's like,
dude, it's a
right now I'm
effect.
I'm not eating the way I should be and the way I'm used to eating. I'm kind of just eating whatever, and I'm just like trying to get it in the body. So busy.
Why?
But it's just an excuse. It's really I have time to do it. I just like it's just a phase right now. I'm like I have all these phases,
When you're in it, you're in it. When you're out of it, you're out of it. And it's crazy. It's such a thing, because the reason I even got went as hard as I did to get where I am right now is because we started that animal based 30, and I had a home to actually be able to get like. You're not just eating meats. Like I'm eating liver and heart, and I'm making sure I'm really getting all of the nutrients that you need if you're going to specifically switch to that diet. And then a couple weeks in, I was feeling so blazing, and I was like just needing less sleep. And I remember I was driving to the RV, and I was stoked. I had a rental car where I was moving out because your trailer showed up, and you started loading everything out of the house. And I was just sitting there, and I couldn't do anything. And I was like, I got to get the NAR. And so I rented a car, and on the drive there, I put on Andy Frisella's podcast, and it was the 75 hard. And I was like, dude, how did I never complete that? Like, how did I let myself down? And honestly, looking back, it was because I wasn't considering one of the workouts like a snowboard or a surf or skateboard activity outside. come to find in the future that he, the owner and the creator of it, actually one of his 45 minutes every day is like just a walk. And I'm not even counting like a 2-hour surf because I wanted
that's like
to feel
the most. That's like the most.
Yeah. So the first one honestly wasn't a failure. And then, but I was just feeling so good from eating clean for those 3 weeks of animal based that I was like, I'm just going to have that animal based be the diet part of 75 hard and just start today, day one, and just do this. And I made it like I was telling you 50 days or something. And I realized it was like not really hard enough. And I was like, I want to just make this even gnarlier. But I'm saying all that because like, when you're on it, you're on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the energy thing, like I'll just fast for a day.
It's like so easy when you're on it to be on it.
Yeah, because you're clean,
hard.
you're filled with good energy. I'm
yeah.
like, if I go to the airport and I'm just like traveling to the East Coast, it's a 6-hour flight, and like I woke up in the morning, I'm like, if I have some bulletproof, I just won't eat till dinner.
And like temptations aren't really that gnarly. Like that's like where I'm falling is like the temptation thing.
Yes.
I'm just like falling into it.
That's just
and
a
I'm just like
chemical
going
thing.
through it.
And
I'm
that's
just-
the best part
is,
about
like-
what you're doing is it's so much easier now. The
Yeah.
temptations, you see something,
Yeah.
you're like, I can just literally get smoked salmon or
Yes.
just wait.
You don't
and
have
or you
those
don't need
crazy
it, or you just don't
chemical
need it. You
reactions
just don't
going on.
need it. What your body wants and is telling you that it
Mhm.
wants. Like
And
it
I think-
hurts now to mess up. Like
Yeah,
when
you
you
feel it
do
bad.
do it, you're just like, I didn't have to do that at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Stomach ache.
Yeah.
You need 10, 12 hours of sleep. You're
It's-
still not waking up feeling good.
Teaches you the stomach ache thing comes hard now.
Mhm.
It's just
Even
like,
just overeating on the right foods is like you got to just listen to that
So-
intuition.
I think that's like I don't want to use it as an excuse because there really is no excuse and there is always ways and you can make it happen no matter what. But it to me has been this last trip, I guess, and kind of always, but it's been hard to maintain like a really clean, well-balanced, like exact diet that I'm looking for when I'm on the road so much. And I'm on the road like 10 months out of the year, like maybe more. Like I'm really never home, so it's like very difficult to get regimented. But like when I do, it's like so good. But when I'm on the road, it's like my schedule's all over the place. I don't know if I have a kitchen, if I don't. Like
Well, so what do you do when you're going to always be on the road?
that's the thing. So that's where
And
where
I
we need
think
to
that
talk.
beginning part
We
that
need
I
to figure
said
that out.
about having a home base to
Yeah.
dial it in at first
Mhm.
lets you get on point so that when you leave and like when we get in the NAR, I'm not just like,
I'm also just like never gonna be the guy though to have like the bag of like the block cheese and like cooked beef on a plane. Like I'm not gonna be that guy.
I've started to be that guy a little
What
bit
about-
more.
I don't
what-
think I'm gonna be that guy.
I bring
Like,
my
But
own
what about,
ground
like-
beef to work just because
That's
I don't-
different though. But the plane and the traveling shit, like I'm just basing it off of.
I'm a lunatic. Don't no one do what I do.
Yeah.
Slivers of what I do. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I literally do not. I've somehow trained myself to not care about the opinion of anybody else. You know, like I'm not trying to have the person next to me smelling oysters.
Yeah,
you know what I
that's
mean?
the
I'm not
thing.
doing
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
But like, I'm gonna get some GFB on the plane if
Yeah.
that means that I got to carry it through security and someone sees me and they're like I'll get pointed at all day.
Yeah.
You know, I'll get stared at, but I don't actually want to like bother people.
Yeah. I think that's like the biggest thing, and like the people that do it right, I'm so envious for because like there are times and trips that I eat clean and I'm like feeling blazed and I'm going to the gym every single day
Because you're on it.
I'm
You're on it. I'm
and it's
telling
easy.
you, the
It's like
couple things that you do give you the
Mhm.
energy to do the next couple things.
yeah.
So that's why I'm saying when I was at home, I was super dialed. Then when you go out, like you have that extra energy to
Mhm.
go to the store. It takes another 20, 30 minutes like we did after riding. Like we could have grabbed something, but we stopped. We bought food. We spent the extra couple bucks. Having a homie who can cook it for you so that you
Mhm.
can just chill or get something done. And then you just do the dishes after and like swapping out
Yeah,
is like
that's
the
huge.
best thing ever.
But that's why I have my chick now, so it's
Woo!
perfect.
That's what's up.
It's amazing.
That's
because
amazing.
I can cook, she can clean, or vice versa, or I can be working and it's literally all made.
That group
And it's
just
like
cuts
it
in half.
just, dude, it's fuck. I didn't even realize that was going to be like a positive externality of me moving to the East Coast. But for some reason, it's like all these random things are like
Yeah.
working out better than I expected. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is actually. That's
Yeah, so
sick.
we were in Tahoe, and then I started 75 hard. You packed all your stuff. We split. You went to
to the East Coast and then to Chile.
that's where it was. You shot right down to Chile.
Went
which-
right down to Chile. Like, I
still
literally
ch-
I moved all my shit to the East Coast drove 3 days, slept in my driver's seat like crazy, just mobbed over there because I had to go to Chile, but I had to move. So I literally sent that U-Haul box over. And that took like a month. And then I just drove with a packed car, all my expensive camera gear and all my shit. And then I just slept in my driver's seat, got there in 3 days, and then had to leave for Chile in like 2 days after that.
In your driver's seat.
Yeah. Just because I had it fully packed. So I just like pulled over, drive like as far as I could go, and then just try to pull in somewhere. Like,
yeah, let's break this down right now for the people, because I get so many questions about like someone when I was at Mammoth. I drove up to Mammoth. I have no idea where to park, or I go anywhere that we go. We have no idea where to park when we're sleeping in our rig.
Thing. Yeah.
No idea.
No idea. How do we figure it out? How do we find out where to park if you drive to Summit County tonight, or if you drive to Baja tonight, or if you drive to San Diego tonight? How do you figure out somewhere to park in your 4Runner?
I just end up looking for a grocery store or a Walmart, hotel parking lot. And yeah, we sleep in our cars. It saves so much money. So yeah, when I pull up anywhere, I look for anywhere kind of populated.
Yep.
Just because you could try to see, I messed up so bad. First time I got out to California, I'm like, all right, I'm going to sleep in my car right on the beach. I'm going to like wake up super early and go surf. You cannot park anywhere near a beach. Anywhere you think is cool to park, you are not allowed to park. I got
that being said, we
in
were parking in Huntington Beach.
Yeah, all the time.
Right
Newport Beach.
But you guys found your perfect zones like on a residential
There's
street.
zones, yeah.
And I was dumb.
I guess how do you find those zones?
Okay, I'll say, if you're living this life, you better be able to put an extra 30 to 45 minutes to figure out where you're going to sleep that night.
Yeah.
When the boys said finding Walmarts or big industrial style parking lots like that, usually the roads that connect to those, like look for the signs and just look for other cars. If there's a bunch of cars and vans and stuff, then you're obviously good. If it says no overnight parking, then don't park there. But like those areas usually have some dark streets near them that aren't like really houses, that isn't like super residential, because people don't want to live that close to the buildings, and they just look for the signs. A lot of them are, you can park there overnight. So literally just park your car where you would park it on a street if you lived on that street and walked inside, but just be discreet when you shut your car off, kill your lights.
And I think that's the thing. Be discreet about it all.
Don't move for a couple minutes.
Yeah, be quiet, like be sketchy, but like have good intentions, but like be sketchy. Like
just move slow.
Like move very slow,
don't have your flashlight
like
on.
Almost like go down if you need to. If you really
I parked like right at Dana Point and was the only car in a beach parking lot in a spot that you weren't supposed to park. And at like, I set my alarm for like 4:45, and like 4:15, a cop rolls up slamming my window. And he thought I wasn't in there maybe, because then eventually I opened the door and it startled him, and he got so angry and didn't listen to anything I was saying about how I just rolled in from Colorado. I didn't know where to go. My boy was asleep, blah, blah, blah. And he just wrote me a ticket and just told me to go fuck myself and leave. It was like $200 ticket for sleeping in your vehicle.
It's a huge thing.
I didn't know.
And I get it, but like, I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, yo, I'm not.
I never
like
even
a bum.
thought of that.
I parked at Santa Cruz one time in a paid parking lot and didn't realize you couldn't like at a certain point they closed the gate and you had to do the overnight. And I had somewhere to be. And I just took a nap in the evening, thought I paid for the day. Gates were closed. So I've literally driven up over sidewalks, down, you know what I mean? Like through little areas that you have to escape parking lots. I got woken up by a cop in Reno a couple days ago, but I've been woken up by cops in Mexico. I've been woken up
by a cop in Tahoe only.
Multiple times. I wake up screaming too. So when you wake me up, it's a whole scenario. I woke up one time in Baja, so deep, like nooked out in this woods desert area, dude. And it was me. Niso was probably sleeping on the ground outside of my car. Then there was another truck and two people in the back of that truck sleeping. Two cops rolled up. They got a call that there was cars out in the woods or something at 2 a.m. And I woke up absolutely going nuts, screaming English, Spanish combo, high as I can. And these dudes literally backed up and were like, what is going on right now? And I like calmed down, came to and explained to him like, yo, we're just out here because all of the hotels were busy. There was no street parking. We got kicked out of the parking lot. So we didn't know anywhere else to go. We will pay for something or go somewhere, but we just literally had to find somewhere because we're tired and want to go to sleep. And they were like, oh, all right, cool. Didn't know what the scenario was. There's just people out here.
Just looking for the scenario.
Yeah, just trying to figure out. And they're walking away. They were like, crazy ass. You heard that kid screaming? And as they were walking away, I was like, oh my God.
Have you spoken about your night terrors on the pod?
It's not even like a night terror. I
No,
just
Whatever.
like,
no.
We just
It's
call it that.
No. It's a night terror. it's a night terror for sure. I've been a part of him. A lot of them.
I can't
We've all been a
even
part of them.
contain my laughter when it starts going on. But at the same time,
Oh,
you have to be.
I'm not laughing. I'm scared.
Yeah,
for my
you have
life.
to have defense going. But half the time, I know like we're good, and he's just going off. Casey has night terrors, and he will wake up if you. It's normally in a spot where you just got there, or
Yes.
he's not very familiar with, or something
really dark.
It's something like that, and someone will walk over something or make
Yeah.
a noise that they shouldn't.
Someone will roll up on me while I'm trying to sleep.
But
is
they're
what you're
not
saying
rolling
right
up
now.
on him.
but not mandatory for the night terror to happen.
Yeah,
they will
no,
just happen.
This is just a scenario. But
Yeah,
yeah, Casey
yeah,
will
right.
wake up, and whether it's hey, or
yeah, that's the common.
or
one.
just
That's a
immediately go to the window and
That's
look,
a
and it's just like the funniest thing.
Mhm.
I can't contain my laughter. There's one story in Nicaragua that is so good. There's an earthquake at the same time. Probably is what caused a night terror for him. But the dude we were
Originally,
with,
yeah.
Chris, ADL Nicaragua, that you guys have probably heard
The
of,
boy.
he didn't know Casey had night terrors.
Oh,
So
God.
while this earthquake happened, Casey started, hey. And Chris is like, yo, dude, it's all good. It's an earthquake. And we're all crying because Casey's going nuts and you can't calm him
calm him
'cause
down.
I'll open a
fight
full
you,
door
yeah.
and end up outside and be looking
Yeah.
around, grabbing stuff like, yo, back up,
Yeah.
link it.
This is 100% real.
Yo, well, we had the homie out for the surf trip in Nicaragua to come and visit. We dialed him in with the car and everything, and he was staying with us. And the first night he crashed with me, he told us something subtle. He might have some night terrors too. I stretched for an hour after they went to bed. Niso and the homie Austin were in a bunk, and I had the single bed by myself, and I literally laid down. And I stretched for an hour, laid down. Must have been 8 minutes. And this kid got up. Usually I'm like the aggressor. He was more like on defense, where he was like, stop, get away. Ah, no. And I knew exactly what to do. And I hopped up. I'm like, hey, you're good. You're in Nicaragua. You're on the bottom bunk. You're with Kid. I broke the whole thing down to him, and he just, okay.
Oh,
And he just stood there, and I didn't say anything else. And I watched homie sit there for 30, 40 seconds, looking around.
Yeah.
To figure out what's going on. And I was like, that's my guy.
Yeah.
I
You
know
know that.
Yeah.
feeling. Yeah.
Me and Dawsy shared a room.
Yeah.
We shared a room for 4 years.
Happened almost on a weekly, daily
Would it?
basis.
Was there any times when it would happen you wouldn't tell me?
Oh, 100%.
my
It almost happened it almost happened so often that it was like a constant. That was constantly happening.
Yeah, you can't just be running around doing stuff.
I had a roommate in college that would do that, but he wouldn't like be aggressive. He would just and then like
The big-
go back down.
big
And
inhale.
just, and then just like it was so funny when he would do it. We tried to be as quiet as we could going up the stairs, going to bed. And he, this is at UConn.
I never really had night terror much, but I've done the whole falling, waking up thing.
I have Twitch, like the twitching.
But you ever like feel like you just fell asleep, and then like you feel like you're falling, and you like jolt up.
Yes.
Like you
That
jolt the
happens
fuck.
when
Your
you're
body
in a
like
car.
vroom, yeah, it comes back to reality. Like
a
They used to
plane.
always
I do this on a plane sometimes. Has that ever happened to you? And I'm like,
I've seen that
and
happen.
I
to
have people
that-
next, and I'm like, I know they saw
Yeah.
that, but I'll literally, I'm like,
I used to do landscaping, and we would have like maybe 8 or 10 jobs that we'd have to cut the grass, and it would take an hour there. And then we would be 30, 40 minutes to the next job, or sometimes 10, sometimes 5. And I would be so exhausted sometimes super hungover. And I just remember sitting shotgun and like trying to like chill, you know what I mean? But like look away from my boss because he was driving. And you know what I mean? But I'd also try to get a little something in. And next thing you know, I just, you know, and he's like,
yo.
but I'd also like, as soon as I did that, you know, I'd be like, like roll the window down.
Yeah.
Like, it's getting hot in here, isn't it, dude? Like
you weren't just sleeping.
yeah, get a little bit up more.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Oh my
That's like, I mean, that is so. I kind of I like saw a video or did some research about it or something. It's like due because of like alcohol intake, like nicotine, stress, anxiety, like all the clear things that would make that happen before you falling asleep.
Yep.
So all those things.
The
contribute
twitching,
to
the
it.
jumping.
Twitching, yeah.
And you're sitting
It's
upright.
like you like couldn't, but like your sake, it's like running off no sleep, like booze, fucking who knows? The dude's probably smoking cigarettes next to you.
dude.
Yeah, I know how
Matches.
those trucks were.
Those trucks are
Oh, yeah.
gnarly.
I didn't do landscaping, but I did pipe fitting.
Matches.
Yeah, what was the gnarliest job you had?
I did pipe
when you
fitting.
were a kid?
I can kind of run you through all the jobs like off the top of my head. First real job was on a farm at the end of my road. Shoveled cow shit, horse shit.
15, 14.
14 maybe.
Nice.
Helped him paint like this. It's like stairs. I remember that was my first like real job. I was getting cash money, getting paid. But then after that one was Subway. Subway sandwich restaurant or
Salem?
whatever. Salem Subway.
No way.
My sister was the manager at the time, so
I've definitely
she got
gotten
me a
something.
job. She got me a job like under the table when I was like 15. So I had a job at 14, and then next job was 15. Stayed there till I was I don't really stay there for a couple years.
And you were working at one of the healthiest known food places out there at the moment.
yeah, I literally
Yeah.
Subway,
yeah.
eat fresh.
Yeah.
Eat fresh.
Jared.
But then that kind of got old in high school and shit. So I started working for my dad. And he does like pipe fitting and like sprinklers, all the sprinkler systems and water systems in like buildings, commercial buildings and shit.
Gnarly.
Yukon, he did all the Yukon stuff.
wow.
Did like some like big businesses and whatnot. So I went and worked with him in the summers, and then and then when I went to college, I did I worked in the grants department for Yukon. So all the
wow.
money, it was I forget exactly what it was called.
I got one of those.
But all of the money, well, no, it was research. It was for research grants only.
Okay.
So all the research money that came into Yukon, I worked in like the department that like I pretty much was just like a paper boy. Like
Yeah.
I just sorted all the grants.
You didn't actually like make
I didn't do
decisions.
anything cool,
Yeah.
but I just sorted all the grants into like all of their like somebody's doing a project on biochem, computer
Sustainability,
sustainability systems,
yeah.
You know, or whatever the
And
fuck they were.
That goes in that
That
pile.
goes in this file, and and this goes over here. And I would
Yeah.
just sort, but it was kind of cool. I would work on and off the Subway as well, because it was just like under the table still at that point, I'm pretty sure. Then I was a dog walker in Boston. That was a fucking dope job.
Yeah, dog walker.
The best place on earth.
Yeah. So next job. So after Yukon, well, no, I'm sorry. Before Yukon, I jumped out of place, but I was a dog walker in Boston. That was a fucking dope job. I worked for this upscale like dog hotel, and they had like flat screen TVs in all the dog rooms and like couches and beds and like, dude, it was wild. And there was like,
Yeah, Nava in there.
Oh,
yeah, it would be a good
she's
place.
dreaming right now.
And then there's like a common area where they all would play, and you take them out at certain times to play with each other. And there's like an outdoor venue, like an outdoor place and indoor, and it was just all around just really cool.
You just
hotel.
applied there.
Yeah, on Craigslist got the job because I quit playing
Nice.
baseball. My dad said if I stopped playing baseball, and I went to college to essentially play baseball and like go through that whole thing. And he was like, if you stop playing baseball, and I had a scholarship to like be on the team
Oh wow.
and like academic
You got
scholarship.
baseball was good too.
It wasn't UConn, it was Suffolk.
Oh okay.
Yeah, it was in Boston. So he was like, so my dad was paying for my rent at the time. So he was like, if you stop playing baseball, you got to get a job and you got to go pay your rent. So right then and there, next day, got this fucking dog walking job. And
jobs.
it was so sick. And I would just like take dogs from the hotel and take them around Boston, go for walks. So it's pretty much all I did. And
pretty
I
cush.
can't even tell a story really of, I mean, I guess this is me back in the day. So how I
Let's
ended
hear
up
it.
how I ended up leaving that job was the worst I've ever left a job. Never have done this before. Never
Oh,
will do this
boy.
again. Best job ever, but they probably won't talk to me. But I got like wasted one night.
Stole a dog.
No, that'd be a better story. It's actually not that crazy of a story. But so I was supposed to, somebody sleeps every night there because the dogs have to be like, there needs to be somebody there in case like anything happens or they have to be the whole thing, whatever. They have to be let out at like 8 p.m. So like they just end up staying that night and then they leave when the morning person comes in at like say 7 o'clock, right? So the night before I get fucking wasted and I have to open the next morning. So I have to get there. It's actually early. It's like 6. I got to get there. So I leave my apartment. It's in Southie. I walk from my apartment and so my friends wake me up from the bathtub. I fell asleep in the bathtub.
Oh.
It was one of those nights. Wasted in Boston. Fell asleep in the bathtub. My homie luckily woke me up. I guess luckily, whatever. Woke me up. I ended up like zombieing my way over to this dog hotel. I don't even have my phone on me. I have nothing. So that's a huge issue right there, because the only way to really get in contact with a person sleeping upstairs in the dog hotel is you have to call them. So I was like standing there, like banging this fucking door, like trying to get let in. Nobody let me in. And I ended up falling asleep on the sidewalk right there.
Oh, so you showed up off of no sleep.
Showed up. Yeah. Well, I was like like hung over, like wasted, like fell asleep in the bathtub for like maybe like an hour. Like it was one of those just sloppy nights. And yes, ended up falling asleep in the sidewalk. And eventually this girl comes down and is like wakes me up and is like, yo, like, are you good? And it lets me in, and like she like gave all the dogs their food. She didn't think I was coming in. Like she didn't even think to like go like up. I don't even know. Whatever. I go inside and I just immediately just start puking fucking everywhere.
It's a poison.
And
we used to just
that was the last
poison
time
ourselves.
I went into that building, and I literally left and I was like, I can't be here. I'm sorry I even came in, and that was it. Done deal. And then like maybe 3 weeks later, I moved back to Connecticut to go to UConn. So it was like kind of like towards the end of it. Yeah, good thing, literally.
Imagine you're still in Boston walking dogs.
I think it was like one of those like going away parties. I got so wasted. But still, that was a really dope job.
Imagine your boy didn't wake you up and you didn't throw up all over the dog hotel.
I would have had to quit.
You just would have been working.
You would have
been the manager.
I would have to do like some like weird. I know, right? Like that decision of him waking me up
one
changed the
decision
course
right
of my
there.
entire life.
It's real.
It's real. It is real.
Every decision.
Every little decision.
That's why sometimes you just gotta just make one and go.
It's pretty cool when you really think back on all those like little but big decisions that you've made. Like even like me like transferring from Boston to UConn and like moving back home, and I didn't want to move back home, and then like going through that whole thing and figuring that whole thing.
Those are us moving back
which floor do I pick in my dorm?
Yep.
It's like
who you're gonna walk by,
you know, like
you're
that. Literally, if I didn't pick that room, I wouldn't have met my group of friends that like I'm still friends with, that introduced me to these people, that introduced me to these people, that got me this. It's like, dude, it's crazy how like spiral effect.
But at the same time, instead of looking at it like, oh, like that dialed me in there. Oh, thankfully that happened. Then that happened. It's like you are who you are, and you're going to capitalize on every opportunity and situation. So if that didn't happen and it was a different one, you would have figured it out, and you would have made the best route of that.
It's just crazy. Like imagine like all the different outcomes that could always be.
And it all happened, right? What's the theory? You say it all the time. All the theory of like everything's already happened, but
everything that happened for the best reason because it happened.
Yeah, that quote too, for sure. But no, there's that theory that like, you know, I like put this upside down in a different universe.
Oh yeah, just the multiverse theory.
Yeah, like because you did do that at the decision and you went that
in a parallel universe.
Yeah. I always think of that.
And there's infinite universes where Dawsy is still walking dogs.
Yeah, 100%.
Dawsy didn't get drunk that night and showed up and ended up running the company, and now he owns 50 dog walking agencies in every major city. And
that'd be sick.
We're having him on the podcast.
It's actually pretty good.
I ended up getting a dog, and you know what I mean. He trained my dog.
Actually about dogs.
This happened in a parallel universe. This is going down right now.
This is a dog podcast.
Yep.
Yeah, wow. It's all about dogs.
I think we should switch the vibe up real quick. We got a little video question that I haven't even heard yet. Are you ready?
Video question?
Yeah, a little someone sent in some stoke.
Who do we have here? D-Dub.
What up, Dawsy? It's your boy D-Dub here. Love to hear that you're on the pod again. I got a question for you, and that is, whatever happened to Mike Dawsy, the surf videographer? There was a point when you were going hard, and you were making claims to the beach, and we want to know, is he ever coming back to the beach, or is he a mountain man his whole life?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Well,
freaking D-Dub.
Get this man to Indonesia.
It just hasn't happened yet. It's just, I just keep going with the flow, and the flow keeps keeping me here. It just hasn't happened yet. And I think once it does, I'm going to be so fully fucking committed to it that it's like there's no turning back there. So it's like I can't just like tip my toes over there.
Yeah, you don't want to
like,
do what I'm doing.
No,
it's fucking brutal.
You're confusing yourself.
Yeah,
like your whole mind is being pulled in all these directions. Like I have too much going on right now. It's like I can't eat. But like,
well, what's the scenario where I don't know? It might have been a couple years ago, but there was like someone that you were connected with through Red Bull or somebody who does stuff in surfing, and they had hit you up because you were traveling.
Yeah, there's a couple of jobs. I know a couple of people that shoot for Red Bull Surf, and they had hit you up and said like, if you want to swap for a gig or something. Yeah, that's gonna happen when Pat Nolan, shout out that dude. He's the best. He's actually, I think he's maybe New Jersey based or New Jersey born, but now he's in California. I don't know,
Jersey.
But he's a dope surf photographer, and he always like throws up some stuff, and we've been connected on Instagram. Again, why Instagram's so freaking amazing. Like I would never have met this guy, and like we're gonna randomly at one point, like I'm gonna pull him onto some snow, he's gonna pull me onto some surf stuff, and bada boom bada bang. It's kind of how it always goes in this stuff. Like you just meet new people and you vibe with them, you end up working together, because everything that we do is just like, well, everything in this industry, it's like all work. It's not work, but it's passion. But passion is work, and work, it's a whole intertwiney thing. So a lot of when you're surrounded by it with a lot of people, it's like it's this whole just like bounce off effect.
The thing is also, Dawsy's never even seen a nice, perfect pitching.
I've never seen a barrel.
He's never seen the overhead just grinding.
No,
you know,
I've never seen a barrel of any sort. Never seen you in a barrel. I've never seen anybody in a barrel.
Pull up the clip.
That's what I'm saying.
Nothing.
So it's different, and I'm claiming if we got Dawsy on the boat in the men's, and we're tropical stoking, but this is like after the next Olympics. You know what I mean? When
Let
you're like,
do his thing.
I need another
you
one.
Freaking really dialed in what you wanted to do, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna like start trying to tamper into some other avenues.
Yeah, I think I need one more Olympics behind my back, under my belt, and like I think after that, I'm gonna try to open up my world past snow as much as I can, but we'll see what happens. I say that all the time, and it's so funny because this is always like, this is the dream, and I absolutely am in love with what I do. But there's always that like, ooh, but it would be really sick to go, shoot surfing, or go shoot the NBA, or like go shoot music and go shoot an artist.
An entirely new perspective.
I just want to shoot a bunch of shit
and humble your shit.
I just want to shoot. I just like shooting it. And it's like, I think always, no matter which direction my career goes, whether it's directing, producing, videography, filming, photography, commercial photography, whatever it is, I think it will always kind of end up like I'm still going to be shooting photos always, because that's like that's my thing. So no matter where like work pulls me, like I need to be shooting photos no matter what it is. So
that's how I feel about skateboarding.
Yeah.
So I feel like a piece of shit when I go like three or 4 months and I don't skate.
Yeah.
I'm like, I literally got to skate for 2 weeks right now to get half my tricks back.
Literally.
That's the foundation.
Bro, you skateboarding, me growing up watching you skateboard was like a big part of my early stages of getting into all this.
Yeah, we didn't know each other.
We didn't know each other at all. I just saw videos of you.
Me and Dawsy grew up in the same town, went to the same schools. He was a couple years younger, but we literally did not.
I have this one envision.
I knew of you.
I knew this one. I have this one like stamped imprint like vision of you.
Hammer fisting?
Yeah, you literally like some cop like ripped you out of the skate park, and you literally punched. Your board was vertically. You punched it in half vertically, like not even like sideways, like through the middle. Like you were holding it long ways and punched it in half and broke this shit. Like just going fucking crazy and just punched his skateboard. Cops taking him out of the skate park. He's like fucking destroying his skateboard, getting ripped out of the skate park. Like, but I was like, fuck, that kid is psycho.
Sick. Dude,
like,
I used to get fucked, bro. I would get dude, they would just fuck with me.
Yeah.
Like I think that was the time I got kicked out of like the 57th Fest.
Yeah, it was a competition or something.
Some kid, we were fundraising. Like I've always been a good person, but I've always just gotten called out for some bullshit. And
I know you're a good person,
fundraising for the skate park and trying to get money. So I'm investing my own money and I'm rolling around with a shoebox trying to get money for people to donate. And I don't remember, this was literally so long ago, but I know I didn't steal any money from it because I was the one who was at the town hall who created the event to start raising the money. And it was all of our friends.
Yeah, it was like
trying to raise money.
But you have like a warrant out for front crooking like the church down rail. And the cops are coming for you.
But no, there was like some beef, I want to say, with like some kid who moved to town. And like I was like a really good skater and he was good. But like there was like some beef that wasn't even known. And he told the cops that I was stealing money from it. So because the cops hated us because we live in a small town and they just literally get off on abusing children, this weird thing that these cops
got nothing to do there.
Stealing your boards and stuff, not letting you bring them to school, like
all the kids who were out all the time having fun
and not doing drugs and not causing havoc, like just skateboarding off
literally.
But anyways, the cops knew, oh, Mr. Willax, I heard you're stealing money. And they
Let's go.
And I have the box of money. And I'm like, this is my job. And they're like, you can't have that on you.
Yeah, it was because the skate shop
authority.
Put it on.
And that's literally the whole reason that like I didn't go to college.
You're
it's
just
like
passionately angry while punching your skateboard.
Mobbed, dude. I would always just, or at least it felt like I was always getting attacked from authority.
Yeah, I feel like you were getting
because once you do, then you're like kind of against it, and then they feel that energy, and then it's just a battle.
That's how you approach it next time. And,
it's definitely half my fault. I could definitely take a lot.
Some of your stories in high school though about like
Willax.
I'm crying while you're telling.
That's another simple one. When the school bell rings and everybody's just going through the halls and there's lines like ants going through a little, and I had a piece of gum. Took a piece of gum out, put it in my mouth. Vaughn, the main homie. I know, you know how you know the people's schedules and like you're going to pass Vaughn around this corner. And I literally imagine rolling up a little piece of tin foil. And as Vaughn rolled by me, I flew through him and it hit him in the head. I'm like, ooh. That was it. And this guy goes, Mr. Willax. the principal. Mr. Willax. And I'm just head down. I know what he wants me to go grab that piece of paper, dude, because I'm just like, you have to be, there's paper everywhere. You know, like, and there's someone who's, dude, like, I'm not trying to give a job. I'm not trying to be put down the custodian, but homie's rolling around in between classes, sweeping up paper. And he literally, Mr. Willax.
This is Mr. Matt?
Mr. Sword.
Oh,
and I
the way you described
and I walked back and I literally grabbed the thing up and I just like slam it in the garbage right next to him. And he's just in my office. I'm just like, it's so heavy, dude. It was like, I don't think I went
to the principal's office not one time in high school.
I was a bit of a troublemaker, but I don't think as bad as this guy.
Yeah, they would just call me in and I would be in there like, how's it going, guys? Let's take up some more of my math class time.
Yeah.
Tell me what I did wrong last week. So let's focus on the negative things that I did in my life so that way I can continue to do those things.
And these teachers are like,
a young teenager.
I know. It was just next thing you know, they're like, pull me out of class. Like, we got to search your locker. Home so-and-so and said this. I'm like, have fun. Like, let's go. Let's pull me out of math class where I learn things so that later when I come back there and I'm behind and I can't catch up, now you'll have a reason for me to be in trouble and end up back in the office because I'm not getting my work done. And it's true, but because it's like I get off on being angry to them and then they get off on making sure that he gets in trouble. And you're like, what is going on with this weird system of like authority, hierarchy, people yelling at you? And it's like, we're just here. We're supposed to be learning.
And then in another universe, you were like a star running back.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say
nerd. Yeah.
Oh, a nerd. No, I'm thinking just aggressive running back for whatever high school. Bacon, right? You guys went to.
Oh, well, that's what I was saying. I read the book, the David Goggins book. Holy moly.
This is a funny version that you haven't.
I created this like person in my head when I'm working out now because Goggins claims that most people, when they're just at zero, spent, exhausted, just nothing left, like ran every ounce that you have, that's 40%. And mentally you're just soft and you can go harder. And like I was pushing through and literally finding that like, wow, if that was 40, I made it to 60, but I'm dead now. And I created this Cdub that's fresh out of high school, never went, did football all through high school, buzz cut, never skateboarded, just weight training, weightlifting, right into the Marine Corps, Army, boot camp, and just this monster.
You would have been that.
Parallel reality. And I have this dude that looks at me when I'm like doing push-ups in the gym now, and I'm like this little snowboarder guy, and he's like, yeah, you think you're limber? I'll show you limber. Like 10 more.
It's really just you.
It's just me. It's just, I mean, I used to have the buzz cut and bench 300. So if I kept that thing going.
Yeah, the gym thing's been killing me too.
There was actually one question. This is the same exact topic here from what I was saying earlier. Addie's claiming, what's a lesson you would teach your 20-year-old self or something you wish you adopted earlier in life?
Oh, I gotta
eat healthy.
for that.
That's an easy one. I would eat healthy and I would follow like clean diets from 20 years old on.
That'd be insane.
Like, imagine that.
Even
Imagine
sooner.
starting that
Soon as you
imagine that. And like, I was always pretty good. I never really snacked too much. And my mom was always like super health food nut. But I think like even gnarlier would have been sick. So I think that's a big one for me.
Eating healthy for sure, but I think just like if you are doing so, it's so like cliche to say stuff like this, but I just started going at stuff like proper. If I knew 100%. I liked it, like surfing or the gym or my diet now. I wish I had that mindset when I was younger. Like if I like it, just go at it now.
Yeah.
Even with snowboarding, loved it, but I like was mad that I couldn't do such cool stuff or whatever. And I didn't do that. Like learn back one, then switch back one, then front three, then switch front three, and just do it how you think you should. Like if you're doing bad in a class and you're like, oh, if I just wrote down every single word and put it on flashcards, I'd probably be fine. But that's so much work. And like now I've realized if I just do stuff the way I think you should just do it super proper, it always works. So
well, you gotta just commit to everything you do.
Committing,
commit to everything you fucking do.
Exactly.
100%. Because when you don't commit to something 100% is when you just don't. It's not gonna work.
It doesn't work. And I've been doing that as I'm older, like with everything, and it works so much better than just being like, I like this, but I'm not gonna like fully go at it. You've been doing that for a while. How you do your tricks and stuff, or like pretty much everything you've been doing. I don't know. It's just, that's what I would tell my 20-year-old self. Just like be a little bit more disciplined on it.
Yes. I like that.
It's hard to tell anybody that though, because when you're there.
Well, it's love. You have to fucking love it.
Yeah.
To do that every day and to want to do it and have nobody telling you to wake up and make a skate trick list. You know what I mean? So, and it's all about the people that you're around too. If you got a bunch of people that are around you skating, then you're going to be more inclined to do it. And fucking the better you get at it, the more you start to love it.
And I'm not like a good surfer at all, but like I feel like my year has gone way further than like some other people's year, just because I'm like, all right, I got to go every day, and no matter what, even if it's not good. And then I got the mindset snowboarding. If I don't land a trick, I'm so mad. I'm like hiking back up pissed. If I didn't get a wave or something, I'm like, I'm still paddling. I'm getting a little bit stronger. So now I adopted that, and that made me so much happier out there. Even when it's flat, I'm just like, oh, I'm getting better at paddling. And with snowboarding, I never looked at it like that. So surfing changed a ton with that. That's what's up. Yeah, a lot.
I would.
Cheers.
I'm saying what you guys didn't say, because you guys did what I should have done, which is like learn more of the like just business to life aspect stuff, numbers, how, you know what I mean, operation stuff. Because I am so lost, don't have a damn clue, don't, you know what I mean? And like that's why everything I do in my business is just operated by me and what I can do, because anything outside of that just gets too crazy. I don't like, you listen to Rob Dyrdek talk on the podcast and just the way that he breaks down budgeting and numbers, and how if you don't know your budget sheet and your balance sheet and these line items and all that, then he won't even talk to you. He doesn't even want to know. And like he learned that after making Street League and all that. And I'm just like, I need to somehow put the commitment, like you just said, that I do to other stuff into figuring out how this game of life works, because it's created by other people and there's wild rules.
You're crushing the game of life, the business part.
Yeah.
Game of life, you're on it.
Well, that's just life, but like the literal game, because this shit is a game. They made rules and they implemented them way before I was alive, and they hid them underneath really encrypted texts that they knew people like me would not want to read.
And they threw you into it.
And then tossed you into it
without even asking.
Yes, and they said, you owe us this, and you got to do that, and you got to do this, and it's not in school, and they don't teach you it, and so it's like you got to go way out of your way to learn.
That's the most fucked shit.
It's the most fucked shit.
How do you not
ever,
teach kids about taxes in
or
school
finances or anything?
It's the most important thing when you're an adult. Is
Yeah.
how to maintain a credit
There
card.
could be
like,
one class for this too.
credit card.
You don't even
class,
need
like,
all of high school.
literally.
One class could life.
and you don't even need like it needs to be basic 101 stuff. How to balance some shit. Like
how to tie a tie. like little like
business. Like, so, sure.
Yeah.
Add that to it. Email how to email it through a business. I guess there are classes for that now, I'm assuming.
But that's specific. Like you have to go to
that needs to be a common
that.
class. It needs to be just a common
if everyone
life
has to pay
adult
taxes
class.
and everyone's going to have to budget and do
how to be an adult. Like literally an adult class.
No, they missed that whole entire part.
The taxes thing is huge because I even went to school for finance and I have a hard time doing my own taxes, and it comes to a point where I need to like send that to other people. And it goes beyond taxes. I mean, it goes to like all parts of my business and all parts of, dude, literally everything. And like I even went to school for it, and it's still not like.
And then trying to find somebody to help you with that is like you're filtering through 80% of people who are just trying to just make money off of your unintelligence, of your ignorance on your own financial situation. You're like, how do you not have a straight homie who's down to be with the boys and like figure out?
We need a tax homie.
We need a tax homie. We need an accountant homie. And
Yeah,
a real
we need a
homie,
money homie.
a serious homie.
We need
that's
a
not
homie
just
homie.
someone that knows someone who knows someone, like someone who's around.
We don't need somebody's aunt.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't need somebody's aunt or uncle.
Not looking at everything that happened and being like, here's what happened. Being like, yo, here's what's happening and what you're doing. This is how you need to structure it and do it because this is how it's set up.
Yeah.
And right now you're doing it how they thought you were going to do it. So you're just paying for everything. It's just you. You're like, it's crazy.
It's pretty crazy. And I think even going into running your own business and going freelance, say like talking to freelancers and creatives and like going down that whole route, like it is such a grind business wise. And I don't think a lot of people understand that side of things, and going into it blind, you kind of don't know. And I think like learning business and knowing the fundamentals of business is going to help you drastically in the long run when it comes to going freelance and becoming a creative.
And you can learn that from like just being in it or going to school. But
you don't need to go to school. You just kind of get into it, and then again, just do all your due diligence and like do all your studying and learn about all of it as much as you can. And like YouTube is a great source for all this. Like
it's like cool to be proper too. You know, it wasn't like cool to get like straight A's maybe in high school, but like it's like cool to be super proper.
If I could go back to high school, I would be a genius, dude. Yeah. I would study every single thing.
I was dope in high school.
I was blowing it. I just was fighting with the teachers and then not trying to do what they.
But then when I went to college, though, I hated college. So and
That's where I turned on. Was you?
I did not. I turned off. But it kind of it's the whole thing of life. It's like. My life at first was like business, high school, like kind of put me into this business route because I was like, I would always study and get grades and like work really hard in class. And like I was always doing that. So I was like, oh, I'm going to go to college and do the same thing. And when I went to college, I don't even know what happened, but like it went totally opposite. And it was like, I don't want to be in school. I want to be skateboarding. I want to be traveling. I want to go on hikes. I want to go hike I want to go to New Hampshire and hike all the mountains. I want to start snowboarding. I want to do this more. It's like, it was so completely opposite. I don't even know what switched in my mind or in my body.
Now, how do you do that and afford it? How do you make it so that you're able to live that and go to those places and not have to go back and work every 3 months or 6 months?
That takes time and decision making and strategic decision making and like understanding the decisions that you're making, I think are very important. You're not just like making just stupid decisions. Like think about the things before you do them and like go have fun and like go out and like chance it and like take chances and take risks and all of that. But like think about them and like make sure that you envision how it's going to go before you do them. Because like if you're going into something blind and you're just like, you like made the decision to do this and you just don't really know the outcome and you didn't see an outcome to it, it's like you probably shouldn't have done that. But if you see an outcome fully and you see it fully through and then you can see your year after that and then the next couple of years after that, and it starts going spiraling into it. It's
starts
like
making sense.
Yeah, it's like that's like gut feeling, like go to that. But it's like to make like all that happen, I think takes a lot of time. Mm-hmm. You know, it doesn't just.
I think just the acceptance of that too. Like a lot of people can't picture themselves achieving that type of thing and having that success. Like you don't need to literally see it to where like you're mapping out every single aspect of how it's happening, but you just need to like see yourself at that level of achievement, and then at that next level and like feel the feelings that you get and see the people that you'd be around. And like, you could picture yourself giving a high five to someone that you know would be right there as you guys like hold something that you know you'd be holding. And like, there's so many little intricate things, but literally accepting the fact that you can be that greatness. Like you can
be that great. You can do anything.
You can fucking do it. That's tough.
Yeah. It's
And
really
this
tough.
applies to anything, right? You're not
Anything.
just talking about building this like epic business of your own and you're like running your own company. This could just be like
Everything.
somebody who wants to see the world
Everything.
and go travel. Because not everybody's just like working toward this like self-made, making a ton of money business.
And
Like,
some people love the 9-to-5s, and some people don't want to stress about their jobs. Like my job comes with a lot of stress, but I love that stress and I thrive in it. But a lot of people are the opposite and don't want any stress at their job and want all their stress to be at home. And like their time to, their time to get away from stress. They got all these kids, they got all this family stuff going on.
We're going to jump back into this with some more questions. The questions were good.
Little intermish.
We got a little better stoke for you, Doss.
Oh, I miss that dude.
You're gonna
He's
like
crushing
this
it right now.
better to the editor.
Oh, he's
Editor,
crushing
the
it.
editor.
Wow.
Mike Dawsy, outside.
So apparently it's just
Outside of action sports, can you name one photographer and one videographer that inspire you the most and why they inspire you? Also, maybe how they have influenced your approach to shooting.
Whoa, there's so many. I'm gonna hate myself when I think about it. If I get time to think about it, it's like I'm gonna have a better answer.
Well, you can think about it because he's got one for Verde too. So we'll come back to you.
But I love that. Perfect.
Here we go.
Give us a full diet breakdown and why you eat the way you do, aside from your personal gains, like because of surfing or benefits to snowboarding. Like, what are the benefits of eating the things you do the way you do?
Okay. Well, full diet breakdown.
We're gonna put 1 hour on the clock. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
literally. Should really put 1
I wanna
minute
hear
and tell me
this
to
too.
shut up. I mean, the full diet breakdown, kind of realized after, linking up with you and seeing how you were eating, because I remember the whole GFB thing came super early in our friendship. Me and Dan were like, what the hell is he talking about?
GFB is either grass-fed butter or grass-fed beef. It's it's kind of like Spanish where sometimes they just know which one. And you're like, what do you mean? They're like, they just know.
Yeah. So, I mean, the full diet thing started with just kind of realizing that we are athletes and we're trying to use our bodies as best as we can and as much as we can every day. And after hanging out with you, kind of realized that, when you would make those pile of veggies and a bunch of beef on the side, it feels so much better the next day than like going to Empire Burger and just grabbing a double cheeseburger and a side of fries.
Yum.
Yeah, it sounds great, but it doesn't really do anything for you. So I guess the full diet breakdown, everything you eat just needs to come in every way, shape, or form from the earth. Kind of just
Literally.
only get the meat, only get the veggies, only get the fruit. You don't need to get like the already pre-made stuff or all the saucy marinade and whatever. Kind of realize our bodies with how much, excuse me, with how much we use them, they get affected so quickly and so easily. So just using everything just grass-fed and organic and just only fruit, only honey, only dairy. It's kind of what your body repairs itself with the best. So, after surfing for 3 hours or boarding from 9 a.m. to 4 and not eating anything, and then the first thing you put inside your body is a donut. Like it's going to use that and it's going to store it. And
it's going to create new cells out of it.
Yeah, well, there's that too. And your body just doesn't really know what to do with it. So realizing that I feel better, you eat stuff that your body's actually going to repair with. And I started using red meat mostly just because I've heard that it kind of, in terms of our DNA and like a cow's DNA, it's like the closest matching. I guess the best thing technically for us to eat would be human. If you wanted to work out and repair your muscles with the exact protein, it would be the human DNA.
Even
is
though,
the best.
isn't it? If you eat
Crazy.
human, you get some crazy sickness instantly.
I don't know anything about
You get
that.
mentally, you go crazy mentally. Yeah, we can't live off human.
Yeah, I remember hearing from a professor in college, which now we all know. Who knows if they were even teaching the right stuff? You want stuff that closely matches your DNA. your cells, and red meat is one of the closest things out there. Like chicken obviously is good and so is fish, but red meat is very closely matching to us. So, I mean,
and the word red meat, good Lord, there is such a difference between conventional these days, which shouldn't be conventional. Conventional old school used to be grass fed, but the difference between an animal that has eaten the diet that it's supposed to eat and lived in an area and drank in the things that it's supposed to eat versus an animal who has lived with its head barely able to move out of a stall more than 3 feet, doesn't actually get to walk around, doesn't see the light of day, eats straight genetically modified corn and stuff. Is like, that's the toughest part of the argument when we have with other people when they try to talk about diet is they're like, oh, you're eating red meat. And the word red meat literally is not, there's not enough substance behind
people.
it. It's because there's such a difference between red meat that comes from a healthy animal.
I just don't even have the vocabulary involved or the standpoint or just how a doctor would say it, but just the makeup of how the meat is compared to when they eat hay versus grass or what they would want or see daylight and get exercise. The makeup is just so much different, and what ends up happening with that cow is just not natural. And it's just, better for us to eat that type of sustainable stuff. And yeah, it's hard to tell people that stuff. And like, it's just every hypothesis is so now wrong. The lipid hypothesis with how cholesterol is looked at, where the whole, have you seen the new pyramid?
We talked about the whole thing about
so
my cholesterol, because I had my blood test done and I had like super high cholesterol, but it was just like running. This is like right when we were doing like
keto.
Keto. I was like doing keto and we were eating like a bunch of meat. We were doing
Animal 30.
We were doing all that, and I just got my blood taken like right after that right when I got back to the East Coast, and I had super high T or whatever, and I had like a bunch of super high T, and I had super high cholesterol, LDL.
How did you feel though?
I felt fucking blazing.
That's the thing.
Oh my God. I was like working out. I was doing
it's
everything.
Hard to even explain this
my
to
lipid
somebody.
count was like great, or like my triglycerides were like super
that's
good. Like
what you need to look at.
Super
when you were saying
good.
T, were you talking about testosterone?
Yeah, testosterone. I have high T or
so
something.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's good.
No, but the whole hypothesis that doctors use, and even all these new like woke, whatever you want to call them, doctors nowadays, they just didn't like, the hypothesis used to be high LDLs, you're going to have cardiovascular disease. High fats, you're going to get high LDLs. And now they're kind of realizing that if you eat very good fats, good source fats,
it's different.
They just overgeneralized everything. They blanket statemented every fat there was out there. And that's why McDonald's in like the 40s and the 50s, they used to fry their fries in beef tallow. But then something happened with, I don't even know, saturated fats where we think they're bad now. I don't know if it's money or maybe it is money. It likely is money in the whole pharmaceutical industry, but they changed to seed oils because they claimed those fats are better for you, which is that is the reason everyone's cholesterol is wrong. But really they're just cheaper. But really, if you eat really good butter and really good bacon every single day, you will have better blood cholesterol levels than somebody who doesn't eat the stuff that they say is bad.
The ratio is what's really important.
It's so hard to even have this conversation with anybody.
It's brutal. The comment section is going to be absolutely nuts. But we went way too deep into it. And literally,
I didn't even know about this.
Yes, because the health game is so serious and people dedicate 5 years of their life to a diet that helps them. And some people might go vegan, and from the diet that they came off of, it was a lot of processed foods. So there's so many variables that they're going to feel better. They're going to start getting nutrients that they've never had. But then if they're going to lack something for months and months and months, all of a sudden they're going to be like, oh, maybe this isn't the diet for me. But at the end of the day, we literally are just claiming eating whole foods from animals that lived the way that they were supposed to, and eating whole foods from plants that grew in an environment that was nutritious, that isn't created in a laboratory, where the genes and the way that it grew haven't been tampered with.
A bunch of bullshit isn't put on
and
it.
none of that is really disputable whatsoever.
Yeah.
Don't spray it with stuff. And like, it's, if you actually try to do that these days, you will realize you can't. It's unfortunate.
The only surefire way, and you still can't. But the only surefire way is you have to cook yourself. It's impossible to go
Everything
out.
you take.
There's all little shortcuts. Oh, I'll do this. And it's the worst because you know how some people think say there's somebody who's super overweight. Their breakfast every day was eggs, bacon, a bunch of bread, and potatoes. And they think, I need to start losing weight. I'm going to start doing egg whites. I'm going to take the bacon out.
Oof.
Do more toast
Oh,
because I don't want that heavy fat. I'm not going to put cheese in my
Do
eggs.
people do that?
That's what
what's
the
happening.
general public is
Yes.
told. You're eating
When-
too much fat. You're going to get fat.
when really it's the quality of the bacon that you're getting. It's the quality of the egg that you're getting. It's
Yeah,
removing that carbohydrate so that your body utilizes those fuel sources, those fats, before it utilizes the carbohydrates.
But
It's
at the
just
same time, if
so
you are
hard to talk
eating,
about.
if you are eating consistently, like you said, like this bacon, egg bullshit every morning, yeah, it's not helping you. So when somebody else is eating it, but the right stuff, and it is helping them, they're all confused and they're like, well,
Yes.
it's helping them, but it's not helping me.
Those-
so it's like, where
It's so hard because then a little bit of exercise does it involve, you
Yeah.
know, if you're not doing anything all day and you just cut out something or add something, it's not going to work. Nothing's, you're not just going to turn into a super fit
yeah,
person.
it's all about committing 100% to something. Like,
It's just there's so
Same
many
thing
different
with diets,
variables on it, and yeah, if you literally just want to cut it down to just the food part, if you took somebody and we wrote them a diet and they were overweight at one point, I can almost guarantee you if they followed everything we told them to do for
they'd lose weight. For
what
sure.
75 days, their levels
It's
would
shorter
change
than
and
that,
they'd feel
a month.
better and they'd start to lose a little bit of fat and their face would shrink a little bit. And no, they're not going to have a 6-pack or they're not going to be, throwing back double tens like Casey or anything, but like,
But you'll see the result.
you see the result, and
yeah.
it's all in the food. The American food industry is literally trying to kill us, and it sucks. But
We have to get away from this topic.
It's a
I
lot of
hate it more than
drinking.
anything because it's just there's too many people that know so many things
And a lot more.
I'm not
Yeah.
educated
We're not
enough to
educated.
be in
you
a
literally, I
doctor
don't even know how to
to
say
tell
it.
people to
Yeah.
prescribe diets and stuff.
Yeah,
It just comes down to eating whole foods from places that you know are proper.
And you can't argue
And stop
that.
eating
Yeah.
processed things and say grace before your meal for literally the fact that it came from where it did and all the things and the people that got it to the point like that will actually change the way that your food goes into your body and what your body does with it. And we could just only hope that the food industry just stops worrying about profits and stops destroying what's going on with our planet and the pesticides and everything and just lets us just eat regular food, please, because if you get on a proper diet, you just feel so good. You have so much energy. And that's literally where this started from. His diet and his whole entire lifestyle that Peder was talking about and asking this question stemmed from him getting into surfing, getting pinned down underwater one time for a couple more seconds than he thought he was capable of, and being like, oh my God, I need to get my shit together. Am I right or wrong?
100%. I mean, that was it. I was like, I want to get good, and if I'm not on it in every way possible, and it starts with the diet,
Mhm.
I have
Well, it
no
starts
other
with the diet.
choice. And I'm not. I can testify. Since October of last year, 2022, I can confidently say my diet is 83% red meat in my protein intake.
Jesus.
I'm not gonna say my whole diet, but my
That's amazing.
83%. Like, dude, I'm not
And
kidding.
how
I
often do you
bought
go to the gym?
when I'm like in a place like now, I'll go all the time. I'll eat like 5 days a week
Mhm.
at this point. But it depends on the road. The gym is different in other ways when you're on the road. But
Mhm.
yeah, I've probably bought 500 pounds of beef since October last
Are
year.
you just trying to dodge this question? Because you've had about 10 minutes. We need one of the most
Fuck.
influential photographers and videographers outside of action sports, Dawsy.
So I'm trying to hit somebody that I read. So I got a couple. So I think Aaron Brimhall is one of the best.
Who is that?
He shoots he actually started shooting in snowboarding back in the day. He still probably dabbles at some point, but he lives in Utah based. He shoots a lot of cars, like really nice cars. He just does a lot of really cool work. He kind of pushes that whole side of photography, and it's just his work just stands above pretty much anyone else.
Do you like what he's shooting or how he's
I just
doing
love the way that he has turned, and like he operates a really successful photography business, and like just he's very well known, and he's like really huge, and just like very like his stuff just stands apart from everybody's, and like that's inspiring. Like when you have like he's got a brand.
Like when we see you on the gram, we don't need to see that it's you. It's like, oh, that's a Dawsy photo.
That's well, yes,
Yeah.
like that,
because that happens instantly.
like it's his photo when you see that. So he's definitely big no brainer. And then just like a couple other, I think like Cole Ferguson was a really, really dope photographer.
Who's that?
He's a photographer from SoCal. He's worked with Sean White in the past. That's how I know him. But he shoots a lot of fashion and like running and just like LA stuff and studio work. And his work's really, really cool. And I've like taken a lot of inspiration from a lot of his stuff, like seeing like his angles and like seeing the way he kind of like puts light on his subjects and stuff. And like I study his work a lot and like learn a lot from it. So that I think is a really, inspiring piece. So I think he's another one that's outside of snowboarding that I like really look into. And then there's a lot of photographers just in the space of like the NBA and the NFL and just like team sports. I hate myself that I don't know the names of them off the top of my head, and I'm connected with them on IG and whatnot. But just there's a lot of people like the Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys, like media team is like really, really, really dope.
Do you have anybody you're like directly connected with that inspires you to that level that you can actually talk to?
Yeah, I got a lot of people that I'm directly connected to in team sports actually because of I won this grant a couple years ago, like the Doug Pensinger photography grant or something for action sports. Actually, it wasn't for action sports, it was just for sports. And I was like the only action sports photographer that got like nominated or like won an award.
Sick.
So they brought like snowboarding into like the limelight of baseball and NBA and hockey and everything. So I got to like meet all the other winners and everything and then get connected and like have like a mentor through like Getty photography.
I've seen that. All sports. That's all like sports. Every high school sports.
They cover everything.
Yeah.
Every single thing in the world. They cover like the presidential campaign. Like they cover the
school
the VMAs, the school photos for whatever. Like they'll do anything. But they have a lot of strong photographers over there that are big mentors. So a lot of those guys have been helping me a lot throughout the last couple of years, ever since that grant. But
now I have this question: what do you even need help with? You're so good at photos and videos, but I don't really know. Everything. But like, because you edit and all your angles are sick, and you're shooting these epic snowboarders because they're always looking good.
But
like,
that's
what
the thing.
What do you call someone for help with? Like,
I guess in like photography now I don't as much. Like for photography, I don't really ever. Maybe like I'll ask Cole like what kind of diffuser he's using or like lighting and like equipment tech like that. But as far as like theory and everything, I used to reach out to people and like I used to reach out to Aaron Blatt and Blotto and like all those guys and like learn like how do you shoot that, like how did you get that shot, like that's insane. They would literally tell me, and like I don't do that as much anymore
because you got your own. Now you're you,
and I figured I figured out like the theory behind it, and I kind of like figured out my eye and like my vibe, my zone, and like where like my photographies kind of play, my photographs play. But I think I'm reaching out a lot on the film side of things. Like I reach out to Dana like fucking all the time. I reach out to a lot of people on the film side of things, just again about equipment. But Dana kind of taught me everything that I know.
I called him 3 times before we set this up.
He taught me literally everything I know about shooting and video.
And he taught himself everything. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And Ori taught him a lot of stuff he knows.
But no, I wish I had a mentor. Like I never had a mentor like going through any of this. Like I had people that I looked up to. I had people that would help me out here and there. Like Peder Cirilli would randomly, like I'd be somewhere, we'd be at a competition randomly. He had a bunch of strobes. I didn't even know what strobes were. He'd be like, dude, take off his transceiver on top of his camera, give it to me. Now I'm running all of his strobes. He's like, I don't need it right now. Like I just shot a bunch of strobes. He gave it to me. Like would help me out like that. Like it's like such a good like community of like people doing it with all the same aspirations and like goals and everything. So it's like all of us just like help each other out. But yeah, it's just it's pretty cool on the photography thing, but like I don't really know anything with filming, so I kind of had to learn all of that shit from
really
from
cool.
Dana.
Master of your craft.
And I'm still learning. There's a lot to learn. I don't really know anything. Just winging it. It's working out. I mean, it can only get better. So it's like the same thing with photography. When I first started, I didn't know anything, and just ask questions, and eventually you get better if you keep doing it. So and I just keep doing it. So I'm gonna get better, and eventually I'm gonna be really, really good. And by that time, I'm not gonna need a film. I'm just gonna be directing, I hope, and I'm just gonna hire Dana to film all my stuff.
Yeah.
And
he's gonna hire someone else out.
And he's gonna hire someone else out.
Can you imagine how many people think that I know how to run a camera really well?
Yeah. I mean, you do. I mean, you know more than the average person. You know more than the average. You know more than the average person.
Epic videos.
You do throw everything on auto, and it's hilarious.
Rip and edit. I'll talk shit on my
a GoPro
game
is complicated. You got that dialed.
I mean,
I don't even know about
setting up a GoPro isn't like.
I wouldn't know.
Still probably not shooting in the right settings though.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I'm trying to say. I don't use an ND filter because then you can start doing math.
You
I know.
You don't use an ND
I
filter,
get
bro?
every shot. That's the thing. All those shots
They're all
most
blown
people
out.
miss. No,
They're all blown.
It's all-
out.
We get the shot.
You can't see
you
anything.
can peep it. I got 3 angles too.
I can't believe that. It's all auto though. It's just all,
It's all
auto.
auto.
Yeah.
Everything.
I don't use auto anything. I
Oh.
wish I could. It'd be
It's
so nice.
so easy.
So nice.
But the thing is, I'm every day, all day.
But like that's how I get my like random shit. It's like I just shoot in obnoxious settings, and it turns out dope.
Yeah.
It's like I just put it onto some shit that I think might work. Like, and if
See,
it doesn't, I just
I
adjust
can't
it a
have
little
that.
bit. And
Because mine, like even
Yeah,
just bringing in a nice camera is
Yeah.
like you have to match every exposure exactly
yeah,
the
yeah.
same. And if you're trying to put a video out every single day, that's literally you're not going to be able to. And if you do, it's going to be super bright, and then a super dark clip.
Yeah, it's
and then you're going to
terrible.
be spending an hour color grading
Mhm.
a freaking vlog.
Yeah, welcome to Dana's life. Every Michaela episode.
Well, that's a freaking video for an app. But yeah,
He
he's
hates
using
me,
your
dude.
footage
He
that
hates
you're
me.
sending him. Yeah, and
It's terrible. My white balances are all over the place. It's like different
yeah.
settings. I have doing so much. It's like
And I'm like getting into traveling more from surfing and whatever. And I've always had this. I don't want to be a photographer, but I've always like I should have a camera so I could like
Get a little Fuji.
do stuff. And then I think about it and I'm like, I'm gonna get so bodied with settings. And I know I could ask you because you're right there
Auto.
and you guys are right there too. But I'm like,
I
wouldn't even
know.
know. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I would give you Dub's number.
Literally. And
Yeah,
so
just
I'm like,
auto everything, huh?
when I do get to Indo, I want a camera
Yeah, you need
with me so I can, so I will be asking one of you.
Or just get like a little automatic film camera that has like automatic settings already dialed in.
Like
It's like a
that.
disposable essentially, but you can reuse it. Like
Yeah.
They have like Canon Sure Shot, a bunch of stuff like that. They have
like
and
you
those
had
are
your
really
first
cool and cheap.
camera.
And I think you need to like shoot some like film stuff. You don't need to be shooting like high
I
quality.
no, I just want to
photos.
be able to like say my brother rolls up and I want him to be able to
Yeah,
film me surf
yeah.
that like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Auto. All right, let's jump into this segment here. I haven't seen it.
Oh.
Verde made the clip. We got a
Oh.
clip called "Guess That Takeoff," Dawsy. So you don't get to see the initial takeoff. You get to see right as the trick starts, and you got to try to guess what happened. Was it like a goofy footed back nine?
You have to say what
God.
they land, what spin, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. This will
Stance,
be
you don't-
this will be a good one.
I'm probably gonna fail miserably.
Guess
on
that
this.
takeoff.
Ooh!
Oh, this is.
Ooh!
Dawsy was probably there.
Yeah. Wait, who was that?
Oh my god!
I don't even remember. I cropped everything out so nobody could see.
Cab, for sure. It's a cab, either 12 or 16.
When I
So
initially recorded this, I'm like, damn, they're gonna get this so easily.
That's
How many rotations?
Stomps irregular.
What was the trick?
cab 16.
Yeah, cab 16,
Mm-mm.
cab 14.
Mm-mm.
Is it cab 14 or 16? I don't even know. That's not 16.
More,
18.
Oh, cab 19. Cab
not cab, just backside
Backside
1800.
18.
backside.
Yeah,
Oh, I got body.
Well, everyone's doing either backside or
because
cab.
he's regular, and that's the last dump right there.
Yeah, but you don't grab like that.
He grabs high Indy because that's what everyone's doing now is grabbing high
That's how you
Indy,
spin
back
fast.
quad.
so they could spin faster.
That's a back quad.
yeah,
Indy.
yeah.
It looks like that disgusting where like
Yeah.
oh
That's what they're doing now, so they
does
can-
them good. But
That's the new way.
yeah,
because
homie
it
just
pushes
did
it
a
in
2100.
front. No, dude.
Same. Well, he grabs
Show me the
tail.
whole clip. I'm gonna throw up. How is
Everyone's
that not
doing
a
either
goofy
cab or
footed
backside,
front
yeah.
side spin? where like who does that so good that I'm thinking of? I mean, all of them, all the boys.
Yeah, Market
Holy
Morris.
moly, dude. That gets me. Wow.
Luke Winkleman, I think, did Cab 18.
Oh no, I think I like.
All right, we'll look at it later.
I can't. I honestly, dude, I'm in it and I'm there, and honestly, I can't keep track of all that stuff, dude.
Hey, that's not your job.
It's not. Yeah,
That's my job.
yeah. I don't keep track of any of that stuff.
All right, we're going to jump into this segment here called G of the Week, sponsored by Athlete Studio, the #1 e-commerce platform for athletes. And they sponsor the podcast. They hook you guys up. If you submit your clip on Instagram, you can either tag You Love to Hear It podcast or use the hashtag G of the Week or YLTHI podcast. And we're going to pick somebody each week, send you guys a $100 code to the website to get dialed in with some gear. And Verde picked this guy right here. What do we got?
Aaron Hoffman.
It's going to be loud.
Oh yeah, that's right. We rode with him today.
Oof. That was gnarly, bro.
The kid
Who
is
is he?
just annihilating Summit County.
On to that transfer, front three.
Back 3 on transfer perfectly, front 3 off.
That was gnarly.
He's got
Lots
some crazy
spins.
clips. That kid goes off. I think
How many total spins was that?
That
Did he
last
do-
one?
did he
0.
do-
on the brotator
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there?
Nothing happened.
Yeah. What about the one before?
Oh, the one before
Back
was
one on, and then he did a cab
3.
2.
Oh, cab 2. So 5.
But
6,
did it go backwards like
7?
you said it
Yeah,
can't?
7. 720. There's a lot
Was it
going on there.
720? That was a 720.
Wow. Who was that? That was
That was Aaron Hoffman.
Aaron Hoffman.
Aaron
He was on
Hoffman.
one today. So yeah, hit us up on the You Love to Hear It podcast. We'll get you your code there. And anybody else who potentially wants to be featured, just use the hashtag either G of the Week or hashtag YLTHI podcast. Shout out Athlete Studio. And Dawsy wanted us to get into some deep stuff here. He wanted to get into something new, maybe techie, maybe some AI or something weird. And I had a shower
Mars.
thought, or maybe it was a jacuzzi thought the other day. Also, worst
Oh,
thing
God.
ever. Worst thing we've ever done. I'll never go in a jacuzzi again.
It's a good
I've been sore
and
for
bad thing.
4 days. I was good. Went in the jacuzzi.
Jacuzzis are kind of gnarly.
They're gnarly, dude.
Yeah,
Everything
dirty.
inflamed, and I just got swole up. I woke up
Dirty,
more
get
sore
super
the
hot,
next
you
day.
get all
It's too
lightheaded.
hot. Ice plunge. If it's that comfy. Anyways,
Yeah.
what is about to be the next either social media like trend
Mhm.
or app or thing to take off that you think?
Heavy prediction.
I mean, AI is clearly going to be the next thing. How far it goes, I don't know. And then, like, I heard somebody say it, and I'm going to butcher it. I might have to say it later, but
Throw it out there. Dun dun.
I
Dun,
can't.
dun.
But like AI is just not at a point right now where it's like or the very, 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 very beginning stages, and it's like it's gonna be insane what the hell is gonna happen with all that.
And we're already so wowed by it.
And we're already so out by
Well,
it.
it's 10x since it came out, and it's 10x 3 times, and every one starts to be like 4 to 8 times as powerful as the next one. But what I was trying to get at is like basically AI is taking over, and the next thing that happens is going to be like
something based in AI.
yeah, and
Yeah.
almost it's going to have a feel of like too much, and we all know that feeling even right now. So when it like steps into that next level, it can seem super overwhelming. And I wanted to break down something for the people who are like the OGs in the game. Like I was explaining to you the other day, who maybe got left behind on TikTok or maybe got left behind on when podcasts started taking off. And like, you always feel like you're a little bit too late. And then once you're late, it's like, oh, I'm not even going to do it then.
Mhm.
But the way that like things keep updating and changing, I truly believe that like the people that are on right now that are crushing it, whether that's like the current things on TikTok or whatnot, or myself with vlogs on YouTube, anything like that, like if I don't pay attention to every new thing that happens, every new update, every new Instagram feature and all that, like I'll get left in the dust.
It leaves you
so
behind.
quick.
Yeah.
And so for the people who feel like they got left in the dust and never started a TikTok because it's too late, and they're potentially right. It is oversaturated now to where like you can't just have the same potential of going viral. So when this new thing comes, I just want to like give like some hope to the people that feel like they missed that last one or a bunch of them, that there's going to be a bunch of them. And the people that are on right now are probably going to be in their head and think that they got it all dialed. And if they slip up or they don't like continue to change, then they're smoked basically. And it's just all leading into how the first thing I said was like, the next thing might be too much. Like it's going to be so AI that we're going to have like too many variables, and it's going to need that humane touch to it, that feature. And so I feel like the people who are still kind of like our age, like around 30, who grew up our whole childhood with no phones. And then like around the end of high school got like flip phones and then started like the social media stuff. So we still have like the brain that is based in like conversations with people when you see them in face to face. Whereas like a lot of that kind of has gotten lost with social media, and like the new kids are a lot focused just online. And the OGs, if they can bring in that vibe, that like VHS vibe, or that like old school 90s, like heart and soul, like even if it's like
you
some
can
retro
trust
stuff,
them.
yeah, and bring that into the next thing. I'm not here to say that I know the next thing, but I know that the next thing or one of the things to come soon is going to be too techy, and it's going to need like a human part to it. And I feel like those people who missed this last wave are going to be the ones that like save that next piece of tech by bringing in some homeliness to it, some love,
some humanness.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've just wanted to kind of explain that, because I know how it feels to be like, shit, like things are just taking off too quick. I missed the takeoff on that one. You know what I mean? I missed the takeoff on this, whether it's freaking Dogecoin or TikTok or something else. Whatever. It's like everybody always feels like, damn it. But just remember that like it's always switching up. And if you just stay on it and you learn, like it's a practice. You have to study to learn
you have to study
these
trends, because I mean, TikTok is just one example of them, and it goes like so deep. I feel like we said it earlier, like every year there's like a new trend that you can like make a bunch of like essentially like success in. Like one year it's there's like this, I wish I had the exact page that I saw this on, but it was like, you know, like last year 2021 it was like NFTs, 2022 it's
Bitcoin
something on
2020,
cyber something. 2023 is AI.
Drop shipping, you were saying.
Drop shipping was like back before, you know, a couple years before. It's like every
something.
year there's something you can make a bunch of money on. Yeah, e-commerce. It's like there's like big pushes. Like Amazon, something happened, and it's like a huge money buy or money grab, and like it's a bunch of opportunity in it. Every year there's like something that hits like this trend market that like I think there's a lot of opportunity in it. If you don't hop on it quick, it goes, because it's just this like trend. But there's a lot of opportunity in that trend for that time. So it's a matter of like, like studying it and like figuring out like what looks like it's kind of what's kind of pushing toward, like what trajectory it's kind of going towards. And like I just think AI right now is kind of running that lead, because all I hear about and see, and it's just AI this, AI that, and AI.
Dude,
and it's getting better and better.
It's
I think
getting
slowly.
so good.
You want to know the craziest thing I think I've heard on AI is this Drake AI thing.
Oh, the song, the rap song.
Like where, you know, the whole copywriting thing where you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that. Like where's the line where this guy can write his own lyrics but use Drake's voice?
It's not a guy. It's a plugin.
Yeah, it's a thing.
So if I was to spit a rap right now, my name is Cdub.
That just goes through, and it's Drake's voice.
I drop it over. Yeah, man, and it's instantly Drake. But it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole song that he put out, and
it's not a song. It's infinite now.
Is it?
You just type in Drake AI, and it's so good, dude.
Wow.
Dub went through and downloaded all these YouTube videos, put them all into single tracks. We have like 40, 50 track AI Drake that we've been bumping, and I don't need
like, dude, this is what I'm talking about, like the whole like money thing. So like, or like random opportunities, like that's a whole opportunity thing right there. Because I just saw some shit about this 15-year-old kids, and they're making $600,000 a month on Snapchat, and all they do is post and have this 24/7 story going of just like interesting looking videos. That's all they do. They just go on the web and find like, interesting looking videos,
screen record it,
or whatever the case is, put it on this Loop app, or like this loop like thing that you subscribe to on Snapchat, and you go to it and it's like all these like crazy fucking videos from around the world. And like it's just these 15-year-old kids that are making hella money right now because of revenue strictly. And it's all faceless and it's all just like on the side and it's all automated now because of AI.
Is that allowed
It's
now?
all automated because of fucking AI.
Yeah,
so
we're
they're making
entering a weird
$600K. These 15-year-old kids are making $600K a month off automation, off of not showing their face, not doing anything, and just running this like ghost Snapchat thing. And it's like the same thing with like these Drake songs and AI. It's like it's gonna open
like,
up these doors
and where's
to
the
like
legal limits?
I mean, that's
Exactly.
gonna be that's a whole
Because
That's a
like
whole
you
thing
used
that
to
we're
not be
dealing
able to
with right now,
film
yeah.
a movie in the movie
can
theater, or
download
you'll
a
get in
song
trouble. But
on the
now
internet.
you can repost that same movie clip on TikTok, and kids are like who've never seen Fight Club.
No, you can't. You can't.
You can't.
No.
But I see accounts.
They get banned.
They do get
Yeah,
banned.
you get flagged. You get a certain time limit, 15 seconds. And there's in picture law where if your face is on it, you're allowed to look at it and react, but it needs to be a certain ratio. But even at that, you can't just have it play like with your face in the corner and just watch Batman for 2 hours. There's like limits. There's
Okay,
all
in my
types of
head,
legal
I'm like,
stuff.
I should be recording Batman 30-second clips, posting them on Instagram, blowing
You
that page
should.
up.
Yes. And that is something that a lot of people do not understand. That's a lot of things that people don't do with
Well,
my
is that
content.
allowed?
I have so much content and people should be ripping it and posting it all over the place because if I get a lot of views of my snowboarding stuff, like you can take my stuff, repurpose it, add it in a different way, make it look cool, like take a different segment from my vlog. I have a vlog every day of 20 minutes where there's 50 different things that can be cut up from each vlog and posted. And like, I see these channels that are just like Mr. Beast highlights and Mr. Beast is
and
all
they
about
run
it.
automated.
And they run all, and they just keep
24/7.
posting stuff and people monetize those. And if someone did that with my stuff, I wouldn't care because just like Mr. Beast doesn't care, they're gaining followers that don't know who Mr. Beast is. They're working for him technically for free. So even if they're making money off of it, they're
still growing the brand.
Mr. Beast is growing the brand. So people would see my snowboarding stuff and then they would want to see more. So they would type my name in. They wouldn't dedicate it
They'd
all
be
to a
connected to
fan
you.
channel.
So there's no copyright to that. For YouTube, no, but say Batman.
That's what I
Can I do that? You
That's
can
what I
do
told
that.
you. Yes, you can take 15-second segments and you can
15
use them
seconds.
and you can have a portion of you like reacting to it, over it, or watching it. Yes.
Mm.
It's crazy. Fair trade laws.
Yeah, we're in the wild west of all that stuff.
I know,
So-
and it's all changing and the laws are all changing. And then you hear these Congress people at these Facebook lawsuits talking about social media. And I'm like, yo, you got to have a different crew of people in there. They don't know what you're talking about. Have you seen some of these clips of it's ridiculous. You can't have a
all
social
that
media
the whole-
lawsuit
see
going
that
on.
the Instagram dude, I forget his name, like the dude that talks about Instagram updates and shit on Instagram.
I'm
You
not
seen
sure.
him?
No.
I forget his name, but he like talks about like he like works clearly for Instagram but it's like his own personal account and he's huge on Instagram, but he just like shares like everything that's up to date on Instagram. And that's like, so Instagram, we just dropped this new update. It's gonna be the best for creators like you. And the next show kind of walks it through, and it's all just like bullshit updates that you're like, that's not, nobody wants this update. Like, why don't you actually do
They're doing
something
stuff just to do it, just to drop a notice that says update. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like he like always like makes like remarks like addressing the situation of like how they try to kill photography. And like, you remember when like Reels just like like the whole Reels thing came to Instagram. Like I remember going through all the updates when he was going through all that, like holy mess. But like that was just crazy. And like now photography, I feel like photography is kind of back. I feel like all Instagrams, the whole like, I feel like it's balancing out.
The post thing
is kind of like
they do like a first photo and then a second video and stuff. Yeah.
Like I feel like it's not that like crazy anymore. Like I remember there'd be times I could get like 3,000 likes on something and then post something that's pretty similar or something and it'd get like 300 and you're just like,
what's happening?
what is happening?
Is
or
my
like
stuff not being
stories, like
seen?
stories would get 5,000 views and then it would get
That
like
still
200.
That still happens.
I don't really know. I don't really post
If you
that many
reshare
stories.
stuff, it just it dips off.
Dips
It's
off.
crazy, which is weird because they want you to be resharing stuff. I
Dude,
don't
did you know that if on I guess like Facebook algorithm life, if there's like nipples in any of the photos or videos or something, it like automatically flags the video and like censors it and like doesn't allow it to go out to like more people. I don't know, but YouTube, but Facebook does it. So like
with guys
and girls. So like I just shot that commercial for Kappa or whatever, and in it, there's a scene where Chase is in an ice bath. Sorry.
And say that word.
Yeah, he was in an ice bath, but he was like, hands were like, his arms were like this. You could see his nipples. So we couldn't end up using that shot because we're putting sponsored ad revenue money or whatever behind it. And because of that shot, it would put this like the shadow band thing on that video.
So weird.
So like, dude, so like Facebook, it literally has like power to do anything it wants.
Oh,
anything.
Bro, we won't even get into that.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Facebook, Instagram. Who owns YouTube? Is that Google?
Yeah.
What's did you ever end up pulling an Ask Cdub anything question?
We were talking about it, and then we
Was that
never
a thing?
talked about anything.
Ask Cdub anything.
Yeah, we got a segment sponsored by Candy Grind where for a while it was just like sports related stuff. But if Jamal's not here or someone that we have that has the answer, we can't do that anymore. We did it last time and it was just us three just sitting here. Like,
I got a fun one. All right, I'm just gonna randomly just spit random things, and you just gotta give me like one basic like
oh boy,
like fact about it. like
dangerous.
Dangerous.
like baseball. Give me one random fact about baseball.
Babe Ruth.
Like Babe Ruth was a baseball player.
Most home runs ever. Up to that time.
I don't think that's right.
Well,
Up
like,
to that
you
time,
know,
Babe
like-
Ruth was the home run fucking legend. Sit down.
Sure,
I'll take the baseball.
Get outta here.
All right, guys. I think that's enough of the Ask Cdub anything. I think we've taken it a little too far. We're realizing too much right now, and we have to remember that was sponsored by Candy Grind, who literally has been sponsoring for over a decade, and they have just been probably my biggest supporter since day one.
I could ask one more thing. I'm curious. When did you get involved with them? Like, how did that start?
When it was actually Candy Grind, yeah, before it was CG Habitats.
That's right.
That was a hookup through Jamal, who I literally did not know. He posted something on Facebook. We were mutual Facebook friends through mutual friends from riding at Mount Snow. And he just had moved to Colorado with two people who I didn't know and said, anybody trying to just fill a bedroom, anybody want to move to Colorado? And I said, I'm down. And I just moved out there. He jammed me in a little foyer upstairs, per usual. I don't really want to pay much. And he had connections through snowboarding. Jamal's just deep in the game, dude. You don't know how, but
He's
like
the OG.
you roll up to Super Park with Jamal and like
He's a hit.
he's the guy, dude.
He's
And
the guy.
everyone's
He
like,
was
"Yo,
in
Jamal."
Snowboarder
Yeah.
magazine.
He's been in.
He's been in
really?
print. He got
Yeah.
published. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
He
know
also
that.
has photos of him like taking down the chandelier with Haldor from Super Park.
That was gnarly.
That was a gnarly
That
party.
was the sickest place I've ever
Jamal,
been at
we
any point in
need
time.
these
Yeah.
stories told because
Yeah,
I am
literally.
so curious.
That's
That
what-
was
that's what
Rider
I-
of the Year, right? Haldor got Rider of the Year at
Yeah.
Super Park. That
Yeah.
was when he was absolutely going
That's
nuts.
I think. Did
I
I,
mean, not-
know Jamal before?
Always.
No, that's when I met Jamal.
Were
You
you
met Jamal
bringing
down
him
in
to the
That's when I met
Super
you
Park?
essentially. That's
Yeah,
when I met
Mexico.
you and Jamal.
Were you bringing him to the Super Parks that he did?
Yes,
that?
Jamal was
Mhm.
getting into
Okay.
Super Parks by being my filmer,
Okay.
which is crazy. 'Cause
Me
I was
too.
Just a little Instagrammer.
Hey, they were down. Pat Bridges was
Imagine
down.
that. Imagine you post on Instagram, people call you Instagrammer.
We are. All of us.
You're a little more. I hope Dawsy's a little more than an Instagrammer.
Yeah.
A little bit more. Yeah.
Consider myself
But
something.
anyways,
What's the next venture, Dawsy? What do we got?
I want to start making socks. Just gonna say it.
I'll put. I got a hole in my sock.
I've been
right
hesitant.
now.
I've been hesitant.
You got a hole in your sock too. You're sitting next to
Everyone's
two
got
people.
holy socks, right?
Right.
Everyone's got holy socks.
Right.
Everyone needs socks.
There
Everyone's
it is.
buying
Yo.
new socks. I want to make a million off socks.
Yo,
Like what I bought.
holy socks.
Holy socks.
Imagine
to be honest, that would
That
pop.
would pop, dude.
That
And you
would-
have a
all heard it
signature
here
line
first.
with fucking. You
Right,
know how
you
they
could
do
just
the
collab
jeans
with mad
and they
just
cut
collab
the
with mad
jeans?
people.
You're high fashion, $200
No
socks.
holes.
They're
They're
ripped.
No holes, but called holy
Just-
socks.
You'll get a blister day one, $250.
I think we
a pair.
bail on the holy socks, keep the name,
I'm
make high quality, nice, comfortable, dope socks.
Okay.
Collab with
definitely a
like dope
better idea.
artists and
I was
people
thinking
and
holy
athletes and
socks.
personalities.
And like holy socks.
Yeah, holy socks.
every which way, other than the fact that there's holes in them.
yeah.
Keep
They're
the
high quality.
replacement, but we're replacing the socks with the holes, and that's why we're called holy socks.
Oh,
yeah.
I like that.
I honestly, I've had
Bring your old socks in for half off.
literally.
Or yeah,
Now
you
Dawson's-
call them
That's
holy
Bombas,
socks.
though. I
'cause
think
when
pretty
they
sure
get
Bombas
holes,
does that, huh? Don't they?
Yeah,
Don't
when they
bring
get
your
holes in them,
socks.
you replace them like LOB.
No.
You could be like the
you gotta
best
buy
sock-
new ones. It's the whole point of like the sock thing. It's
Well,
like,
Can we sell these on CaseyWillax.com?
yeah, we can 100%. That's where they're gonna be sold.
They're gonna live right next to the You Love to Hear It merch.
And all the merch.
All the back to the
I
Stoke,
saw a
all
bunch
those.
of
Back to the
people
Stoke,
asking
yeah.
for the Back to the Stoke sweatshirts.
I know.
Can we get that stuff back? I'm
No.
like, I don't know.
One
Wait,
and done. You
I
got to
ha-
be on it.
wait.
When we drop the merch line, you got to cop it because
Back-
it's tough.
Back quick to the socks.
He's like, yo, Vin, this is my time. Yo, if anybody's listening.
B-Dub. I've had B-Dub draw me a design back in the day, a sock design.
Okay.
And he put like a design. It was cool. Not what I'm gonna go with in here moving forward in the actual sock when we start this sock venture, but I'm gonna have B-Dub definitely design some socks.
Yes.
For facts.
For reference, Beat-Up's the one who designed my snowboard.
Ching. Yeah.
Absolute hero.
Yeah,
Hometown
hero.
Hometown hero. Best friend. Legend.
Great golfer, I hear.
Great
So-
snowboarder.
Great snowboarder.
Dude would rip if we gave him,
Inspired
if we got
me
him
to
in the
start
water.
snowboarding.
We got Beat-Up in the water for a little time.
Yeah.
If he walked in a room, I wouldn't know who he was.
You'd feel it though.
I don't know what he looks like.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd
you
feel
feel
it,
it,
bro.
you know.
Yeah.
You'd feel it.
Yep.
We gotta
Beat
get
Up.
Beat Up on the pod.
One day.
Yeah.
Well, I think we had some fun, boys. It's almost 9:00. We got a snowboard tomorrow.
Yeah. I could
Gotta
talk till
maybe wrap
midnight.
it up with some Patreon stoke. If you guys are trying to support and get your questions featured in the pod, www.patreon.com/CaseyWillax. We haven't really had too many questions featured there.
But they did help. Any of those
Yeah, we
questions.
gotta get more of those. Those are fun. Those are cool.
Those make it way more fun.
Mhm.
Now we're gonna have a little fun trying to read some names here because we had some new members join, and we always shout you guys out. The first couple. This is gonna be good again, huh?
Now I know what to read.
Yeah.
You know how to read.
I know where to read.
You know where to read.
AJ Gensley, we appreciate you. Great.
Lloyd Field. Absolute legend. Thank you.
Dawsy, you got this is yours. Over
Yep.
there.
How do I even see that?
You remember.
This is your name, bro.
Peder.
PM, dude.
Edie. Petey Marchon.
Marshawn.
Peter
Marchon.
Marchon.
It's one of my favorite last names currently.
Sorry.
Please respond
wait.
to the pod and let us know if we were saying your name correctly.
Peter Marchon.
We appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
And then last but not least, Jason Conrad.
Thank you, Jason.
Absolute legends. So thank you guys for supporting the pod. Follow the boys. Mike Dawsy on Insta. Green Mike _. And yeah.
Shoot us some DMs.
Shoot us some DMs. We're going to be here probably filming tomorrow too in the next couple of days. So any questions you guys got, either submit them through Instagram or Patreon. And anybody who cops some merch, we appreciate you.
Eat healthy tomorrow.
That's
Much love.
the claim. You love to hear it. We're out.
See ya.
That was good. Yeah, nice.
Nice.